Can you speak Spanish with a British accent? Today, I'm gonna show you how to make an R&B melody from scratch. Very easily, like so simple, not gonna complicate it at all. So yeah, make sure that you tickle that like button, go ahead, comment, subscribe, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Let's get into it. So when you're making R&B melodies, I think that it's easy to focus on the first sound and first melody, because usually if you're making like a chord progression in one sound, you can just go ahead and copy and paste that into different sounds and layer, because you know, layering, that's what we do on this channel for real. It makes it a lot easier. So the first sound that we got is the sound out of Sticky. I just bought this VST and it's not bad. It's pretty good for R&B and trap melodies. But so we got this synth called Syllables out of Sticky. Sticky. And here's the melody that I laid out. Yeah, so this melody is very simple. It's literally just 3 chords and then some transition notes, like keeping it like the bare minimum, right? This is gonna be the backbone of our main melody. So to make something similar, right? Let's say that you want to start in C. Let's say you want to start in D major, right? So I guess I start with a D chord. Now I'm gonna go up, so something like this, and then up again. So we got this. Now we want some passing notes to get back to the first chord. Now we can copy this same pattern, and you can go in different ways. You can either switch like these chords right here, so it goes like the. Okay, so something like that. You can see how similar it is to the first melody. Like I said, it's just getting like a few chords like these right here. You could add more, you could, you know, take away some, but just having a good chord progression is all you need. So for that, just an imager to make it sound wide. This is free too, I think. It's a pretty good imager to make stuff sound wider. Then an EQ to cut out the lows. So now we get into layering, because that's, you know, it's what we do. We layer over here, you know, we be layering this shit. So I went to SRX keyboards and I grabbed this Stage EP piano and laid out the same exact chord progression. But for this one, I didn't want it to just play in plucks. I wanted this one to play out in legato, so it's gonna like play for longer chords. And not only did I layer, but I also copied it up an octave so it can sound a lot more full. So here's what we get. Not only did I layer, but I also made chops in the chords to give it like, you know, some more bounce to it, like right here. Just using chops in your chorus is pretty easy, because whatever you do, usually it's gonna sound good because it's in the same chord. And I think that if you're not really good at playing like riffs or like counter melodies, then this is kind of like a cheat code, because like I said, you're just chopping up the notes, like, you know, hi-ya, 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 hi-ya. Like, so simple. So for that, we have on an imager to make it sound wide, of course. Then we have on a magic switch, which is a free chorus plugin. Use that on all my roads. And then some ROM for some reverb, of course. So then we layer again to make it sound even more full. We got this check animations preset out of Expand. And at first it was just these 2 simple sine presets, but I also added this warmth thing to make it sound a lot more full. I'm not gonna lie, if you're making R&B, I think that a sine pad is something that you should definitely know about, because they're very common in different R&B melodies and R&B songs. So for that, this is an imager, of course, to make it sound wider. I'm not gonna lie, for most of these sounds, I'm using a widening plugin for real. So then we layer again, of course. This time we got the SRX orchestra with the strings preset, some VCS legato, and this one I layered again, like I said, but I didn't really keep this part right here. I kind of wanted to have like a stop and go type of sound to it. So here's what that sound like. Yeah, just adding strings to your melodies just gives it a lot more soul and life to it, for real. For that, just a ROM for some reverb. And then we're gonna layer again. Like, come on now, man, it's too easy. We got this little bell pad at a SRX keyboards. We got this Goodnight SRX, and here's what that sound like. Yeah, it's gonna add some more texture to the melody. For that, we have on a magic switch for some chorus, Echo Boy for some delay, a crystallizer for some of the little, like shiny sounds in the background, and then some reverb. And then we layer again. Kinda. We got SRX on the fast cellos preset. And for this one, I just layered the bass notes out of the melody. So it's kind of still lame, I'm not gonna lie. But it's just to add some more low into the melody. For that, no effects. And then we layer again one last time. Like, come on now. This time we have a bass. And for this one, we're gonna copy the bass notes again, and then also add in some passing notes just to give it some more life to the bass. So this is what that sound like. We're using the Save Your Tears preset out of this RM for Love bank out of Analog Lab. So literally everything that I just showed you, that's literally like the main melody, and that could be its own loop for real. I'm gonna show you what that sounds like by itself. Like literally, if I wanted to, I could be done with this loop, but I'm not gonna do that. So now I'm gonna show you a couple more sounds that I use for some counter melodies and some ear candy. So I wanted like a woodwind, because I feel like that might, add to the sound for the melody. So we got this Calliope. How do you say that, bro? But yeah, basically it's a flute. So I laid out this counter melody. This one I just played out by ear on my MIDI keyboard. I don't really have a way to making counter melodies. I think that it's just good to, practice more, and the more that you practice, the better you get with making your own melodies or your own riffs. So for that, I got some delay, some free delay, and then some reverb with some ROM. Then we have a different sound that I use for some ear candy. With this one out of SRX keyboards, I got this Sign preset. It's a soft lead, and here's what this one sounds like. I wanted something that would sound very spacey, ambient, and kind of ethereal, if that makes sense. So that's why I added some Echo Boy for some delay, an EQ to cut out a lot of the highs so it sounds more in the background, and then some reverb with some ROM. So that's the main part of the melody. Now it's just about adding your accents or whatever you want to add to it to enhance it. So usually when I make R&B stuff, I like to add female vocals. I'm trying to stop myself and not get in a habit, but it might be too late for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's just too fire. But I found this female vocal kit at this FL Cloud bank, and here's what that sounds like. So we got that, and then I also copied it over and then pitched it down by a whole octave and kind of offset it a little bit. So now it's gonna sound like this. For effects, we have on the EQ, of course, some delay, and then some reverb. This is always my go-to for mixing in vocals in my melodies. And then we have a perk loop, which I love to use in almost all my melodies. It just adds some extra bounce to it. Then we got some textures to give it some more life and energy. Last but not least, we have a transition. And when it comes to making melodies, whether it's R&B or not, I love to add like some type of transition usually, because I feel like that when a melody starts off very small and then gets very big and loud, I feel like it kind of sounds weird when it's like no type of transition at all. So having something like this is gonna make it sound a lot more fluid and cohesive. So without that transition, it sounds like this. Like, it's not bad, but I like the first one a lot better. So that's the melody right there, right? So I'm gonna show you what the melody sounds like and then play it in different pitches. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite key. Thank you if you made it to the end of the video. Hope you liked that. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, go ahead and tickle that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, follow my socials and everything like that. Let me know what you want to see next. And yeah. Drink your water too, and do your push-ups and your squats and all that good stuff. And that's about it. So I'll see you next video. Peace.